You're about to hit the stage with your sister, Noah Cyrus. You have a beautiful song together. Tell me about that track and how that came about.
She was in Nashville one time, and I invited her over for dinner and just basically said, just kidding, we're going to record this song now. So,
and she was like, I'm down.
There we go.
Yeah. Let's talk about your new album, From Now On. I heard that it came together in a really unconventional way because you were actually starting to write songs for Orville Peck. Is that true?
Yeah, I wrote a song for Orville back in 2023. I wasn't really planning on doing my own music anymore. And so all the songs, especially the title track, From Now On, it was intended for me to pitch to him. But then I started working on it, and my friends started, telling me that I might regret giving away some of the songs. I have a new project called Folklahoma. It's with Jordan Lindley and Adam Roth from Grizfolk. It was born out of us just having fun, and then I think, in the last few months, we've made some of the music that we're the most proud of we've ever done.
When is that going to come out?
Probably early June, I would say.
So soon.
Yeah. You hear that, boys? I put a date on it.
Yeah. You've now worked with Noah, Miley, and Billy Ray. What have you taken from each of them through their musical process? He just dropped his latest album, From Now On, with features from his famous sisters, Miley Cyrus and Noah Cyrus. But if Braison Cyrus has proved anything, it's that his name also belongs on the music charts. Let's talk to him. Braison Cyrus, how you doing today?
Doing well. How are you doing?
I'm good. Stagecoach, living. Is this your first time performing at Stagecoach?
It's my first time going to Stagecoach and performing at Stagecoach.
Oh, wow. So you're popping lots of cherries today.
Yes.
Good ones, hopefully. Let's talk about your new album, From Now On. I heard that it came together in a really unconventional way because you were actually starting to write songs for Orville Peck. Is that true?
Yeah, I wrote a song for Orville back in 2023, and then I think he put it out in 2024, and I was working in a new studio at the time, and I was writing for other artists mainly, I wasn't really planning on doing my own music anymore. And so, all the songs, especially the title track, From Now On, it was intended for me to pitch to him because I was like, he got one of my songs, let's just see how many more I can get in there. And so, but then I started working on it, and my friends started, telling me that, I might regret giving away some of the songs. And I was like, well, I'm not really doing my own thing anymore. This is kind of is my job now. So, but yeah, it mainly all came together, and I would say like 5 or 6, songs on the whole record were, demoed out and made with the intent of giving it to the cowboy.
Okay, well, I have 2 questions now. One, why did you decide to maybe not do music anymore? And 2, what became the decision or the impetus for the decision to make this your album?
Well, the reason I was kind of stopping was mainly COVID. And then, I got a publishing deal during COVID. I think a lot of artists had to pivot during that time because I think we knew that like getting in a studio all together wasn't happening, touring wasn't happening. And so we were kind of trying to figure out like, what do we do? And I think a lot of people pivoted towards the, publishing route of like writing songs for other people, and I still do that, and I love it, but the really kind of inciting incident for coming back was the record and the song From Now On, and people telling me that you love this and it's written about something that you care about, and so you should put it out. And then I found a label that really believed in me, and it was kind of all kind of happened without me realizing it was happening. So it was very cool.
Well, now you're on the other side of it.
Yeah.
You're about to hit the stage with your sister, Noah Cyrus. You have a beautiful song together. Tell me about that track and how that came about.
As Long As You'll Stay was written by me and Old Sea Brigade back around the exact same time we were. He also wrote the song with me for Orville Peck. And so we were kind of bunkered down during COVID writing all these songs. And As Long As You'll Stay was a song I always wanted to do with Noah. So, and then she was in Nashville one time, and I invited her over for dinner and just basically said, just kidding, we're going to record this song now. So,
and she was like, I'm down.
There we go.
As long as you'll stay, we'll be living day by day. I swear I'll try to change. We'll talk of better days. The trophy might be broken, but it's golden just the same.
You also have a beautiful song with Miley Cyrus.
Yeah.
I literally was listening to it on repeat on the
Yeah.
way here.
Thank
It's just
you.
like one of those songs that becomes kind of like an earworm.
Yeah.
Tell me about that song, because I know you also said that you weren't sure how that was going to actually work with Miley.
Well, with Miley, I knew it was going to work, and the way she got back to me about it, and she was excited and got it to me in a couple hours, and it was really cool that way. But my label told me, you need a song on the album that's not sad. And so they gave us some like Sonic references for it, and then I got together with another writer named Jordan Lindley, and we said, let's make it so upbeat and like happy sounding that it could possibly make people sick. And so we did that, and it's one of my favorite songs on the record now.
Then the walls came down. It's a crazy town we lived in. And I'm looking around and I still haven't found what I'm missing.
It was a last minute addition, but
I mean, it was a great last minute addition. It's such a little banger for you. You recently co-produced On Our Way Along with Noah and Billy Ray.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that one.
Last year, I've always, probably for like the last 2 years, I wanted to make a record with my dad and produce it for him and kind of be like, because he hadn't put out a studio album in almost 15 years, and so I was like, we should do this, and it was kind of always like either something would come up with his time or my time, and then last year in January we made it happen. And so On Our Way Along, I wrote about, I would say, half the songs on the record, and wrote them with him in mind, which is also kind of a new process for me a little bit, being so like, this is going on someone's album and I know who it is. So it was fun, and On Our Way Along is very much trying to tell his story from a different perspective, my own perspective. So it was very cool.
Were there any nerves like going in, like, all right, I'm finally going to do this with my dad?
I think he was probably nervous because I think he was probably saying, maybe either thinking, oh, maybe Braison's not as experienced of a producer, or maybe thinking he's going to really actually make me work. And so, I think maybe that was it. Maybe he thought I might be pushing him harder than, any other producer would. And I think both of them were probably true. I was inexperienced for that specific task, but also I made sure that I was like, you got another one in you. We can do this. Like, push it hard. Let's just, and tried to keep him as much a part of the process, as, more than just like singing,
Sure.
And so trying to keep him involved and, make it a, true like collaborative effort. You know what I mean?
All the paths we could have walked, I'm just glad ours crossed. All the battles we have fought, and the many lives it cost on the way.
Is it true that you really only started kind of going into music in your 20s? That feels like
later 20s, yeah. So about 25.
Growing up in such a musical family, that sounds kind of like crazy, no?
I had a lot of things, and there's still a lot of things I want to do outside of music. So whenever I was a kid, I focused a lot more on those. And then, it wasn't until 2018, 2019 that I really started doing this full time. So
yeah. And how do you feel now that you're fully immersed in it?
I feel very, very good. And right now I feel fully immersed in very, very hot clothing in a very, very hot place.
Yes.
So, it's very, very similar to that. It's fun, but it's also a little, pushes you out of your shell a little bit.
You've now worked with Noah, Miley, and Billy Ray. What have you taken from each of them through their musical process?
I would say that, they're all very similar to work with, and I'm sure, if, Miley or Noah and my dad would probably say the same thing about me. It's like working with, it's no different than us, going to, get dinner together at night. I think a lot of the time it's a lot more casual and a lot more, not a lot of thought goes into it, not in like a we don't kind of care way, but just like I think when you're dealing with two people or all three of us that are like, it's second nature for us a little bit. I think that it just all comes together really quickly.
Yeah.
So
were there any surprises? Like, were you like, oh, I didn't realize that maybe Miley would be so like strict in the studio?
Oh yeah, no, luckily Miley, she would have been strict in the studio. Miley would, Miley is not one to get directed or bossed around by anybody, but she shot it to me from her studio in LA, and she gave me way more in the session that she sent over than I knew what to do with. So, and it all ended up making it. So it was really cool.
Oh, I love that. Okay, so what do you got coming up next, 2026? Is this now the door, the floodgates have opened for your musical journey?
I think so. I think I've got a lot I'm working on right now. What I'm really excited about is I have a new project called Folklahoma. It's with Jordan Lindley and Adam Roth from Grizfolk. And it's just kind of a thing we're doing for fun, and kind of something for us to put out in between releases from doing our own stuff. So it was born out of us just having fun, and then I think in the last few months we've made some of the music that we're the most proud of we've ever done. So I'm excited just to share that with everybody.
This life is a cowboy killer. Wish I could stumble down that road again together. Thawing out from a long hard winter.
When is that going to come out?
Probably early June, I would say.
So soon.
Yep.
All right. Well, we're going to be on the lookout for that.
Awesome. You hear that, boys? I put a date on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Braison.
Awesome. It was great talking to you.